Rabbit and Steel is a raiding roguelike where you and up to 3 other players fight increasingly challenging bosses while also collecting loot and creating a build for your character. It also contains bullet hell elements to keep players on their toes. I have dived into raiding in Final Fantasy XIV, so the raiding aspects of Rabbit and Steel felt very familiar to me. You choose from the assortment of cute rabbit classes. Some focus on very close proximity to the boss, while others focus more on range abilities. These can be enhanced further throughout each run with loot and upgrades, which allows players to deviate between builds. I personally love playing as the Dancer Rabbit. It's also the same class I played in Final Fantasy XIV, so it fits right up my alley. Once a class has been chosen, you get to choose a color, test out their skills on the training dummy, and decide on the difficulty and the location to start with. Each skill is separated into primary, secondary, special, and defensive. What makes these skills MMO-like is the global cooldown, or GCD, that can be affected by the loot you get throughout each run. During each fight, bosses will start attacking and also have bullets appearing here and there, in which you would need to dodge while also deal damage. At certain intervals, the boss will then introduce players to their unique mechanics where they will be telegraphing their attacks and it is up to you to resolve them. Some can be as simple as staying in a circle, while others involves dodging incoming attacks one after the other, which gets ramped up over time as incoming bullets will try to throw you off. It is exhilarating each time the mechanic resolves itself. Defeating the boss will net you gold and XP that can be used to improve your character. After a certain number of battles, you'll be able to choose or ignore loot that appears. This is where the first part of the character building comes into play. These loots can affect how your characters play dramatically. Some can reduce cooldowns, increase or deal additional damage, or even debuff enemies as well. Finishing each stage will bring you to the intermission screen, where you'll be able to meet the merchant and learn more about the game's story through the characters that appear. Talking to the merchant also allows you to buy upgrades for your characters. These upgrades behave differently depending on the gem on it, which diversifies the upgrade path you can potentially get. Aside from the upgrades, you can get buffs that last the whole stage, level up your characters further, or heal yourself as needed. Can you pet the merchant? Absolutely. Being a roguelike means replayability, and this game has a lot to go for. Finishing each run multiple times will eventually unlock more classes, additional loot that can appear in each run, and even trinkets you can put on your rabbit. What impressed me the most is how single player and multiplayer is a completely different experience. I've played most of my time in single player, so I am quite familiar with how the mechanics are, but when I started diving into multiplayer, it became a full-on raiding experience and it's great. Now it's no longer about surviving alone, but working as a team to beat the boss while also resolving the mechanics without hitting one another. Getting loot in multiplayer also means sometimes you might want the same loot as your teammate, and if that happens, a dice roll will commence. If you win, you'll get the loot, and the other player will have to choose another one instead. If you're looking into multiplayer but couldn't seem to find players around, the Discord is very much alive and they are more than willing to get you up and running in no time. Then there's also the difficulty, which you can play however you want. I have beaten the game multiple times in normal, and I'm currently attempting on clearing on hard difficulty. I failed miserably of course, but perhaps in due time, I will be able to clear it. All of this combined with excellent music that played throughout the stages and also had its own variant that transitions really well before and after each battle. I swear I would vibe to these songs while playing, and I never got tired of it. Rabbit and Steel is a wonderful mixture of MMO raid mechanics, bullet hell, and also a roguelike. Tons and tons of replayability, great music, lovable character designs, and also a great community as well. The game also runs really well on Steam Deck, where I spent most of the time in, so I highly recommend if you want to play this game on the go. All of the links to the game's Steam page and Discord will be in the video description. Go check it out, it's 100% worth your money.